and more with Week 8 results. Hello, I'm Britt Smeal, and I want to thank you for coming and joining me at FTB Sports and the look into the NFL. I am your host, Britt Smeal, and this is Through the Table. All right. First, I want to take a moment. I want to thank some people, Mr. Errol, and everybody else at the Man United Agenda, Talk MU, and everybody in the FTB sport community for giving me this opportunity. Um, Big week 8, lots of things going down. Broke today. Aaron Rodgers will miss some time as the Green Bay quarterback as he has tested positive for COVID, and we're looking at quarterback Jordan Love taking the reins of that offense. It could go either way for him. I mean, the Packers, they're 6-11-1 since 2008 when Aaron Rodgers is not starting. Will it do anything? I don't know. Kansas City really isn't looking that great, so we'll see. Also, with the trades going on, nothing for Deshaun Watson. He asked to leave in March, not traded, a lot surrounding him, and everything that's going on with the investigation. He has 22 lawsuits, personal lawsuits against him, 10 criminal complaints. However, no charges have been filed up to this point. There was interest from Carolina and Miami, but as the deadline was coming, the negotiations just stalled between the clubs. Uh, Big injuries too. Derrick Henry, he's looking to have surgery on what they call a Jones fracture. It's just a break. I say just, but it's a break on the outside of the foot. The Vrabel said that he hopes to return to the field this year, so we'll find that out. They did sign Adrian Peterson to the practice squad, elevated him up to the roster. So there's definitely, he's going to miss a lot of time. But like Mike said, they hope to have him for the rest. Michael Thomas, also big on the injury, wide receiver for New Orleans. It's looking like he's missing the rest of his season with an ankle injury. Couple of big trades too. The one big one worth mentioning is Von Miller being traded to the LA Rams. We're talking about a defense that is suffocating there in the trenches with Aaron Donald just massive over there. And now they're going to put on the line with them, uh, arguably maybe a future Hall of Famer in Von Miller. Don't know. His age may be a question to some, but worst case scenario, he's going to bring a lot of knowledge to that defensive line and just make them better. Um, yeah, so that's most of the news going in. The results from the week, big, huge game. Big win for the New York Jets. It doesn't hardly get mentioned, but the Jets come off with a very, very big win considering 10-point dogs going into this. New quarterback Mike White. He's been in the league, I want to say, since 2018. Got his first career start today, or on Sunday. Um, Threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, completed 11 of his first attempts, and he finished the night 82%. Very, very wonderful debut for him as a starting quarterback. Threw 2 interceptions, however, really not his fault at all. They both hit wide receivers. Should have been caught if you ask me, but I'm not a wide receiver. So, but no, he did wonderfully, and that's what most people are going to be talking about from the weekend and what they should. Another big note too, he left the game in the third quarter under concussion protocol, gets cleared, comes back into the game, 11-13 finishing with 145 yards, and of course, one being the game-winning touchdown pass that he threw to Tyler Kroft, and did the two conversion to Crowder. So wonderful game from them. Even contribute a little bit defensively. He throws a pick. Bates is looking like this is a pick six. White is not going to let that happen. Runs him down. Makes a wonderful, probably touchdown saving tackle. And then the best part about that, defense steps up, 0 points off that turnover. Just wonderful all around performance from a backup quarterback. Should inspire the team. I don't know what else they can do. But it'll give them something for going into next year. Cincinnati, I mean, not too much to say about them. There was game they probably should have won. The books had them winning, and they just don't play that well. I mean, they put up 31 points, so I can't say that. But huge win for the Jets, and think we should focus more on the Jets and what they did more than Cincinnati and them losing to a very bad team. We had Green Bay beating Arizona. Sorry, I'm trying to find something here. Beating Arizona 24-21. Green Bay, amazingly, it's Green Bay's first win at Arizona since week 17 of 2009. It's incredible that you look at the Green Bay Packers and what they've accomplished, what they've done, and this is the first time in Arizona in that long that they beat them. So the win is actually bigger than what it looks like on the Green Bay side, I think. Rodgers, once again, brilliant. Missing and Devontae Adams. Rodgers is 7-0 with Devontae Adams since the introduction at Matt LaFleur as head coach. So to be able to and he's a great quarterback. This is one of the things that makes him such a great quarterback. Missing, arguably, for my money, he is the best wide receiver in the NFL today. Very good. They got great contribution out of their run game. Aaron Jones, 15 for 59 with a touchdown, rushing the ball. And he also contributed on the passing end, 7 for 51 off. And he's good. Aaron Jones is a great running back. That Green Bay team is looking really, really good. The defense picked them off twice, forced a fumble, and only allowed Arizona to 74 rushing yards, which in the NFL, I know people want to say the league's going passing and you got to do all this with your quarterback, but you got to be able to run the football. Teams like my team, we look really, really good, but there's one little aspect missing, which is why everybody's going to tell you we're not an elite team. But it is what it is, and they get the run game going. Green Bay is formidable. They are going to do very well. I expect them to go far. Solo, big up to you, man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it very much. We also had Kansas City squeaking out a 20-17 victory over the New York Giants, who are just bad. And Kansas City in a tight game like this, 20-17, that's bad for them too. The Giants, as bad as they are, forced 2 turnovers on Kansas City, got 2 sacks, forced Pat Mahomes for 19 incompletions. That's very, very high for Patrick Mahomes with the amount of time they will throw the ball and everything. You're looking around barely 50%, which Kansas City has a lot of work to do. They have to figure it out. I know they have the coach, and wonderful coach. He'll figure it out, but that team needs to do so much better. There's a lot of uncharacteristic things we're seeing out of Kansas City. Pat Mahomes throwing interceptions, like we're not used to seeing that. We have a fumble by Travis Kelce. He doesn't fumble the ball. So they're easy fixes, but we're getting late, starting to get near the middle of the season, and they're going to find out that they can't just waltz into the Super Bowl, let alone they might have a bit of a trouble getting into the playoff spot. So Andy Reid needs to get that team, Pat Mahomes, settled down. Kansas City, I mean, it was a needed win. They got the job done. Ugly, but they needed it. So good on them for trying to fix the ship. I could care less, of course. We had a big game too with the Rams and Houston, 38-22. On the surface, that looks really, really confusing, but we're talking all these points for Houston, garbage time. So the game looked a lot closer. The Rams were up 38 to nothing at one point. Houston had no answer for Cooper Kupp. He was 715 and one touchdown. The defense, that Ram defense, who just added Von Miller, 5 sacks. Donald added 1.5 to his tally. So he's looking like he's up for Defensive Player of the Year. 4th and 1 on the 3-yard line. Big stops. Big stops. And well, that was Houston. That was one good part about Houston. They had a couple. They hit a 45-yard touchdown pass to Cooks, but recovered a touchdown or recovered an onside kick, took it for a touchdown. So that was good too. We don't like to focus on all the negativity circling around them, especially with whatever they're going to do with Deshaun Watson now. I don't think he won't play. So that'll just be looming over them. And they were just a disaster. So Houston has a lot of work to do, see what they want to do when it comes in off season and with their draft picks, because they're going to have to find a quarterback. I don't know, of course, if they'll get anything for Deshaun Watson, because he might not be tradable. And we'll see what the league does with him. But until they do, he's going to be in limbo. All right. Now my team. So cat's out of the bag now. Everybody knows that. Bills 26-11 win over the Miami Dolphins. It was a game I wasn't too happy with, but I thought there were a few good things. I mean, I'll go with the bad first. That first half, we were just not in it. Did not look like we wanted to play, just not alive, not focused. Just 123 yards in the first half is just unacceptable. And whatever happened in the locker room, it was perfect, because we come out of the locker room 23 points in the second half, which is a great half. Allen, what more can you say about him? He throws for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 55 and a touchdown. He's just contributing to this team, making this team so much better, and giving us hope and believing that we can take this and we can make it. And if he keeps us up like that, we will. The only concern I have is him having to contribute so much in the run game, because he's a big boy, so he'll lower down a lot like Ben Roethlisberger has. And we all see there comes a time where your body just can't take that. Like Ben can't take these hits. He's going to hurt his team more by getting hurt than he does trying to squeak out one extra yard. Our defense, once again, that Bills defense is amazing. So good. So good. Um, right. Yeah. Really good. Sorry. Miami could move the ball. Their offense did look bad, so I just don't want to say Bills defense was so good, but Miami did have a bad day on the offensive side of the ball. They had no big drives in the second half to eat up time and wear down our defense. Um, our defense forces a fumble, has a pick, and Miami didn't help them starting off the second half, going 3-and-out on their first 3 drives. That Bills defense had them, and good thing for our offense coming out. I mean, we only had 10 points going into that fourth quarter, so it got a little bit scarier for us at Bills Mafia, but we know who our quarterback is. We know he can get the players behind him and push and make a run because we want to make some noise this year, a lot more than we have been. In another NFC South clash, we had Carolina 19-13 over Atlanta. Um, I don't know if was it a Stephen Gilmore inspired Carolina defense, but in his first game, so welcome to Carolina. Mr. Gilmore has himself a pick that iced the game. That defense played very well, held Matt Ryan to just 146 yards, picked him off twice. Good side for Atlanta. Howard did have a solid day in a dull offense on 80 with 82 yards and a touchdown after he fumbled on the first play of the game. So he turned it out. So good on him. For Atlanta, Gonzalez also smashes 2 50-yard field goals, but Atlanta's missing Calvin Ridley. They really need him. Only had 213 yards of total offense. And you're talking Matty Ice is a quarterback. Matt Ryan's so much better than that. He you can't be missing that much with just one player. So that front office has some explaining to do with their fans, but they have for a long time and didn't really answer them. Have to ask Atlanta fan how they feel about that. We go over to the AFC North and what's becoming a very, very interesting division. Pittsburgh beats Cleveland 15-10. That's Cleveland's lowest point total since week 10 of 2020. So they've been putting up points, and you expect Cleveland to put up a lot of points. We all knew, though, and we all thought that this would be just a slobber knocker of the game, low scoring, because that's how this division is. And of course it was. That Pittsburgh defense, again, very good. Had a big fourth and 1 where they stopped Cleveland. Huge play. The offense really balanced in this game. They had 37 pass attempts to 32 rushing. Only thing with the play calling, I would say that fake field goal was horrible. They had no business doing that. Not a call I agreed with, but called a balanced game. Cleveland, with Pittsburgh's good defense, Cleveland's offense was really, really bad. Just 3 for 10 on third down. They held on to the ball for a little while at times. They were in the possession, but they had so little possession in this game. They need to have the ball more if they expect to do anything and have any sort of year, kind of like they did last year, to make us think they were going to make a next step. Have to have the ball. They have to do more on offense. Their defense failed to make big plays. and Cleveland's going to be in trouble. They're going to fall off, and you're just going to see, I guess, Pittsburgh and Baltimore battle it out for the number one spot in that division, and then the other one I can pretty much guarantee will have the wild card. San Francisco 33 over Chicago, just 22. This is a bad Chicago team. They're not the worst, but they're bad. Justin Fields, though, he's looking good. He was up for Player of the Week, so that's a bright spot for them. But this is without Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy returns next week. So will Chicago just revert back to the previous week? San Francisco on the defensive side of the ball, good pressure up front. The run game is pretty strong. Mitchell went 18 for 137 yards with a touchdown. And wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, he's good. I know he was in the running for Offensive Player of the Year of the week also. Very good performance. And that 18 for 137 and 1. I think I wrote that down wrong. That's Deebo Samuel's numbers, I'm pretty sure. So again, that's San Francisco 33, Chicago 22. We had a clash between Philadelphia and Detroit, who Detroit's just so bad. It's really not much to say on this game, except Philadelphia 236 yards on the ground, and this is without Miles Sanders. And he's really good running back, and their offense will just be that much better with him. But it's Detroit. They're just dominated in the trenches, and that team is not playing. Campbell looks like he's lost the team. I don't know when they'll fire him or if they'll decide to, but I can't imagine him being around too much longer, because that's just going to make everything worse for Detroit. Who would they go out and get? I haven't seen anything about Campbell, but just the way that team's playing, it doesn't look like they're too bothered with doing anything for him. Another close game. Very exciting. Oh, no, I don't know about exciting, but it was a very close game. Dallas, Minnesota, 16-20. Dallas got the road win with a backup quarterback. That's very good. And Minnesota, they're just way too conservative and basically allowed Dallas to do whatever they want. So, sorry, Dallas, Minnesota fan, I don't have too much to comment on the game, because, Minnesota just let Dallas do whatever they want to. So take that up with your team. New Orleans upsets the Super Bowl champions 36-27. An upset, maybe not, to be honest. Sean Payton, he knows how to win these division games. He always has his team up there. Very good coach. And it's not like Tampa Bay played horribly either. Tom Brady was good, 375, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks to go along with another fumble. And then the Bucs also had 11 penalties. Need to be a bit more disciplined in that, but with all that, there's nothing to worry about in the land of Tampa Bay. No reason to panic. Nobody seems worried. Nobody seems to care that New Orleans beat Tampa Bay. I don't think New Orleans will do too much, and Tampa Bay, I don't think they'll fall off the face of the planet because of this. New England 27-24 over the Chargers. This was a bit surprising to me. Very gutsy win by New England. Coming up, made clutch plays, got a pick 6 in the fourth quarter. So they stepped up when they needed to. I mean, you're talking about a Bill Belichick ran team. Those teams are ran very, very good. And the Chargers, I I really don't know how to feel about this loss, if anything. The only thing that stood out to me was their struggle on third down. I It could just be just a one-off because they are a very good team. We haven't seen this out of this offense before. So pretty sure they'll get it fixed up, but coming this long and these problems are starting to creep up now, if they don't get it fixed very, very quickly, they'll I mean, yeah, they'll still be looking for a spot in the playoffs, but I don't know what they'll be able to do in the playoffs. Struggling on third down like that, they won't go very far. But like I said, it could just be a one-off. We haven't seen it. Inside that division, Denver beats Washington football team 17-10. It Washington just self-inflicted mistakes, hurting themselves every chance they could get, really. Inside the Denver 20 just 2 times, had a failed fourth down and an interception inside the 20. It's not very good, not very efficient. They had 2 field goal blocks that led to 10 points for Denver. So Denver's defense bails them out. It's a really good defense, but Denver not very good. They're going to need more than their defense bailing them out if they're going to do anything, because they look like they even wanted to lose. Take a second here. Thank everybody in the chat commenting. I see Mike, Hotspur fan. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Amundi, I love you, brother. Solo, appreciate all you guys. Almighty Blues, nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. And there's my mom saying hi. What I thought about the QB for the Cowboys. I don't know who that is. No, I'm kidding. What? He was fine, I guess. A backup quarterback getting a win. I mean, good for him. Just not a Cowboy fan. The Steelers, I they're good. They'll make a run. They're looking like they might make a good run at that division if people can battle with Baltimore and close the gap. But Steelers, I think they're looking in. The Steelers, they're looking at a wild card, I think. I don't like the Cowboys. Neither do you. You're a Steelers fan. Then Seattle takes care of Jacksonville very, very easily, 31-7, with a backup quarterback, another backup quarterback. Geno Smith started the day, 14 straight completions. Very good. I've never paid him much attention or worry, but very, very good start for him. Tyler Lockett, amazing wide receiver, another good game. 12 catches for 142 yards. Just beautiful wide receiver. Seattle could have Russell Wilson next game, so Geno could be looking for a spot, maybe. People usually just remember the last thing you do. There's a few not very good quarterback play going on out there. So maybe in the offseason, Geno Smith could get another move. As far as Jacksonville, very, very, very poor. I mean, they were in the running for me for the worst performance of the weekend because you're coming off of a bye week and you go out there and you just get trashed. Not good. A lot of people in Jacksonville have a lot of questions, starting with their head coach. I won't even say his name because I don't even like him. He shouldn't even be coaching in the NFL right now. But that's a Jacksonville problem, and they need to figure that out. Um, just horrible. Then our last game, which was overtime, had one of those this week. Tennessee sweeps the Colts this season with a score of 31-34. Tannehill throws 2 interceptions. Indy at one point was up 14-0. And then Wentz throws 2 interceptions. For Tennessee, though, very resilient win. Going to be missing Derrick Henry, like I mentioned, but they did sign Adrian Peterson to their practice squad, ended up elevating him to the roster. I don't know how much of AP we'll see, but I'm a long-time AP fan, watch him play a little bit in high school, a lot of college, so always loved watching him run the ball. Hopefully get to see it a few more times before he hangs it up and calls it quits. So those are the scores for the week. Pretty good week of watching football. Um, Shuffling the power rankings. My top 5 for power rankings right now. I have the Rams that I really think they're clear right now, considering Green Bay missing Aaron Rodgers now with COVID. Got to knock them down a little bit. The Cardinals, very good team. They start slow, and they're going to have to fix that if they expect to really go out and make a push here in the playoffs. But if they can pull it together, Kyler Murray is one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch, except for my quarterback. He's a very good kid, too. Very, very good kid. And then fourth, I moved it down because I didn't want to seem too biased. So I did put the Cardinals ahead of my Buffalo Bills. I think we're clear in the AFC, if you ask me. I know we have our problems. We need to be able to run the ball better, but I think a lot of that will be if our offensive line can just run block a little bit better. They can pass block, they're fine. I don't have no problems. Run block needs to pick up, and then I can look at putting us in the power rankings closer to Rams and Green Bay, who I don't think anybody would argue that they're clear in the league. And then running up behind Buffalo, I got the Tennessee Titans. I know they just lost Derrick Henry, so that doesn't look good. But Vrabel, he seems to be getting the job done, coaching this team. They're playing for him. So if they can keep it going, easy playoff. What they'll be able to do in the playoffs, like they will need Derrick Henry if they want to do anything in the playoffs. So if he's going to be out for the season, we might as well leave him out of our power rankings because they're not going to get no job done, I don't think. So now I'll give you my players of the week right here. AFC, I've got to go with New York Jet quarterback Mike White. First start, very, very good performance. 37 for 45. So he had a good day throwing the pigskin around the yard. 405 yards, 3 touchdowns. The 2 picks, I don't even like to mention them because they weren't his fault. They were drop balls. Should have been caught. But it is what it is. That's how they do stats. So he still gets credited with the interceptions, but I think he was easily the player of the week in the AFC on the offensive side. And in the NFC, we're looking at Deebo Samuel for San Francisco wide receiver. 6 catches, 171 yards on 9 targets. Very, very good. Very positive day for him. He can keep that up. I don't really see San Francisco pushing, doing anything, but there's a lot to take with this kid. And Jimmy G can find his groove. He'll be able to, they might be able to do anything. Back to the comments over here. Okay, yeah, my mom's asking again. Raiders just more and more trouble. Yeah, they have a running back that I think report came out today. He's going 150 miles an hour. And so he's charged with reckless driving and got arrested on with the fatality, ran into a car. So things don't look very good for him. The reports I'm seeing, he's referred to as former Raider. I didn't catch the news where if he was let go because of that or what happened, but he looks to be in quite a bit of trouble. Lawyers say that they're still looking into it, doing their own investigation. So we'll see what happens with all that. But it's just another bad thing for Las Vegas to be dealing with. Bad for the families to be dealing with. The whole thing's just a mess. That they look like they will fall apart. Very, very much so. Okay. Donald came in. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for jumping in. Glad you found the live comment section. Very, very kind of you to join. Talking Mew. This is another big man. Appreciate he has helped me out so much. Him and Solo. You guys really appreciate you. Not very good. My mom asking where the Raiders are in the rankings, I assume. Yeah, they're not very good. They're not going to make the playoffs. They don't have the quarterback. Derek Carr. Oh, I do a bit of crushing on Derek Carr, but a lot of people I know, a lot of people that's following and follow Derek Carr and had a lot of faith in Derek Carr to be a good quarterback, but he's an 8 quarterback. He's Tony Romo that people don't like as much. Talking you, no, you're the legend, man. You are. I thank you very, very much. So that's my wrap up there of week 8. I'll be back next week with week 9. I will normally be doing this stream on Tuesdays, so you look for me Tuesdays. It will probably be around the same time. Maybe sometimes it might be maybe a half hour later, as waiting for people to get home. And if I can have somebody on who wants to come on, let them get home, let them get situated. So, but I look to have it around this time every week, and I look forward to seeing everybody back. And just again, I want to say thank you to everybody at FTB and the Man United Agenda and Talk, and everybody's who have had me on their show to get my opinions out there and talk. And I love it. Love talking sport. And I appreciate all you guys. Thank everybody in the comments for joining. If you would love to subscribe to the channel, if you're not a big football fan, what we Americans call soccer. Still a great channel. They put out very, very great contact. If you're an Arsenal fan, they have a channel. If you're a United fan like me, you got the Man United Agenda. There's a channel for, have trouble saying that name over in Merseyside, the red part of them. There's a channel there, but lots of content you can find on FTB Sports. And we all just appreciate all the views, all the support we get from all you guys. And thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all next week. Take care. Love you.